Hey everyone, and welcome back to Timeless. Today we're going to be playing a new deck idea built to enable the new card Mockingbird. Mockingbird is the card from Bloomburrow that has honestly exceeded my expectations the most. When I saw this card, I said, wow, this is pretty interesting. It's a potentially constructed playable clone effect, but it'll probably just end up being like a little too cute, a little awkward when you draw it in multiples, weird when it gets blown out by removal spells. But at least so far in Timeless, I found that whenever you're playing it in a deck that has a density of creatures, it actually performs really well. And I was pretty impressed with how it performed in Jeskai Energy. It's perhaps not good enough to change the status quo of energy to make us all build Jeskai Energy, but it felt like a defensible include into the deck. So I decided that I would go ahead and try to build a deck to enable it even more and build a proper aggro deck that had blue in it. So you'll notice that this deck actually does share a lot of cards with the blue-black tempo deck that you've probably been seeing on ladder a bunch and that I've played recently, but this is actually quite different from it. This is not a tempo deck, but a traditional aggro deck. I've dropped a lot of cards from the deck like Mana Drain to play even more threats, specifically threats that are really good to copy with Mockingbird, and turn this into a true three-color aggro deck. Let's go ahead and sort the deck a little bit just so that we can see it a bit better. Put all our threats in a column, card advantage in a column, and interaction over here. So this deck plays a lot of threats. We're playing 4 of 5 different cards, so that's 20 copy targets for Mockingbird, and these are some of the best cards in the format. Guided Souls and Ocelot Pride go without saying, as the absolute best things that you can copy. Psychic Frog is one of the best mid-range threats in the format, and when I was playing Mockingbird and Jeskai Energy, I even copied my opponent's Psychic Frog once, and it was so sweet. I think this card's just awesome, and I'm always going to be happy to have more copies of it. Orcish Bowmasters is a great card to copy. Nethergoyf is a crazy fast scaling one drop where if your opening hand is like 2 Nethergoyfs and a bird, you are going to be crashing in for a crap ton of damage really, really quick. So I'm excited to see what Mockingbird can do when paired with all these threats. We're playing a similar interaction suite to the blue black deck, except we're not playing the counter spells, we're just playing the 1 mana interaction. The blue black deck had Fatal Push and Thoughtseize, but since we're in white, we can play Swords to Plowshares, which is a very upgraded version of any other removal spell that you could imagine. Sure, we're giving our opponent a little bit of life here, but that life is a very small price to play to get rid of anything permanently for 1 mana. We dumped most of the energy package to be in the Esper colors, so we're not going to be playing Static Prison, unfortunately, even though we have Guide of Souls and that card is great. I think Swords is going to be better with only this one source of energy in the deck. And this deck, it is going to play somewhat similar to energy decks, I would imagine. Like, I would hope that this plays somewhat similar to Mardu Energy. Of course, we've dropped Amtraptor, we've dropped a Johnny, so we are probably not going to explode as hard as that deck can, because trust me, the Johnny Goblin bombardment lines are almost unbeatable when you're on the receiving end of it. But hopefully, the ability to draw cards in this deck, Mockingbird to creatively copy things, and yeah, playing real big boy card draw spells like Treasure Cruise will help pull this deck over the top. And Treasure Cruise is a card I've really wanted to play in an aggro deck for a while, because all the good aggro decks now are energy decks playing Amtraptor, because Amtraptor is the most efficient aggro threat you can play. But unfortunately, you can't put Cruise in your Amtraptor deck because there's no way that you can pay 8 energy for this. And you don't want your Amtraptors to have a mischance if you could help it. But now that we're here, we could play the classic 2 of Treasure Cruise that we often see in Dimir Tempo in our aggro deck. So we could just go ahead, spam our threats. Our threats are going to get hit by removal spell, put a Thoughtseize in our graveyard, put a Bauble in our graveyard, and then we can draw 3 more cards, 3 more threats for 1 mana, which is kind of crazy and something that I'm really looking forward to doing. One thing that I have found after playing like a bunch of the blue black deck that has Nethergoyf in it and Treasure Cruise is that this deck, after a couple test games, does fill the graveyard like a little bit slower than that deck does. Like that deck has the counter spells that it's constantly using and also putting them in the graveyard. This has creatures which don't go to the graveyard right away, so sometimes your Goyf is a little bit slow to grow, and sometimes your Treasure Cruise isn't online until pretty late in the game. But I still think those cards are like acceptable and playable. I just think that they are a little bit worse than how they perform in like our blue black version. But I have a very limited amount of data myself, of course. I could be wrong about that. And of course, this is not like a meta deck or anything. This is more of an idea for me. How good could we make this Mockingbird if we do truly build a 3-color aggro deck around it? This deck isn't necessarily built around Mockingbird. Like you could take Mockingbird out and then just put in another like really good white card. You could like main deck 4 Juggernaut Peddlers, for example, or just play another 1-drop. And the deck would be still similarly good. Or take out the Mockingbird and just put in like a counter spell or another piece of interaction, right? So This is less a Mockingbird deck and more of a really cool 3-color aggro deck that Mockingbird just slots into perfectly. Mana base is normal stuff. We're on 20 lands, 2 Surveil lands over here. We got the sewers in the back street. Otherwise, just normal fetch land mana base. As for the sideboard, since we are a blue deck, we do get to run Mana Drain and Spell Pierce. I'm not sure exactly what the amount of counter spells in the sideboard should be, or really if we should be running them. I'm sure we have to run Mana Drain. It's just that good, right? And there's going to be decks that's great against. I'm just not sure what the exact numbers are. I need some more reps with this deck. I played a couple test games and it performed fine. But like, I really don't know how much of a control role are we really going to be playing against combo decks. I think we're still trying to aggro them out and just hold up Spell Pierce, but I do need a bit more data. We have Pithing Needle as a catch-all. We have Unlicensed Hearse as Graveyard Hate. We have Lavinia as hate specifically for Show and Tell, but she also taxes anything that is Giga Ramping and any sort of free spells. So Lavinia could have other sideboard applications, but primarily here for Show and Tell, because fair decks are always going to lose to Show and Tell. But we also have Juggernaut Peddler, so I believe that between the Thoughtseize, Lavinias, the Peddlers, the Drains, the Pierces, hopefully we can have a great Show and Tell matchup as an aggro deck. Because that's my nightmare as an energy player. And I've been playing a lot of the Jetstorm lately, and unfortunately Jetstorm's worst matchup is yet again Show and Tell. So I'm always worried about the boogeyman in the room and needing to beat it. I believe that's it for the deck tech for me. This is still a pretty early idea, but I'm curious to see how Mockingbird does. I'm curious to see how this idea of a 3-color aggro deck does. So let's get to the games. All right, game 1 with the bird is the word. The season did just reset a couple days ago, but we're really close to Mythic. We're D1, so if we go on a win streak, we could actually get it this video, which would be awesome. And right here, we do have the ability to get a double Guide of Souls going with Mockingbird. I am concerned that this hand has 4 lands, and I don't even have the ability to get a Surveil land alongside them. But I think I'm still going to keep these 7. My opponent shows no companion, which has me concerned, but I'm not exactly going to be mulliganing to a Thoughtseize every single time I see no companion. All right, Goyf, that's a great draw. It's going to be a 0-1 for a little bit, but we're going to be okay with that. We're going to start with Watery Grave so that we can go Goyf into next turn Guide, copy, Guide. Or we could do it with Guide first. We actually get an extra energy. Yeah, we get more energy this way. Let's do Guide of Souls first. We'll get more energy this way. We'll also be able to attack for more because this might still be a 0-1 next turn. And it looks like this might just be Show and Tell. Breeding Pool, Seed of Hope. Oh, Shift and Tell. Very cool. So what we don't have here that I like to have against Shift and Tell in these colors is Surgical. So maybe that's a mistake. But we can bring in the Peddlers, which are very good against them. The Lavinias, the Needles, and even Counter Magic. And Unlicensed Hearse. We actually do have a lot for them. So I love having access to Surgical as a 0-mana screw you kind of card. So they don't really play removal beyond Ugin's Binding, so we do want to try to get a bunch of power onto the board. Okay, cool. So we can go ahead and fetch with the Flooded Strand. I'm going to hold this up because I might want to use this to surveil on a later turn. So for now, we're going to be okay with a 0-powered Nether Goyf. For the time being, we're going to pay 0 here. We're going to copy up our guide. As you know, the bird is the word. My opponent's got something, though, it looks like. What you got? Oh, no, you don't got anything. We're going to have 3 energy here, which is cool, so that we can instantly fly this Guide of Souls and get the clock going. See it. So my opponent does have Delirium, which is very concerning to me. Because they can activate their woodlands if they have a Labyrinth. There's nothing to target in their graveyard yet, but ooh, yeah, look at that. This is not good, boys. They can turn their woodlands into a 6/6 if they so wish, or they could just play Ring. That's also totally fine. Alright, so what do we want to do here? Oh, we want to draw land, which is not good for us. We wanted to hit some sort of gas. So what do we want to do, guys? Do we want to put Lurrus into our hand? I don't think it's going to do anything. I think we should probably fetch a Surveil land and try to surveil into interaction. That seems like one of the best things that we could do right now. They have protection from everything, so we're just going to chill. We're not going to attack, and on their end step, we'll surveil. Unfortunate that we didn't draw too many threats here. Or too much gas after I said, oh, this hand could go sideways if we keep drawing more lands. That's okay, though. All right, Null Drifter, draw 2. You got it. Right, and let's see what they got. My opponent could, like, copy up these Devourers, like, whenever, with Shifting Woodland, and get attacking us, or even copy a Null Drifter and do the Annihilator 1 thing. So for now, let's just go ahead and Surveil. I do want to hit Interaction like Thoughtseize, so if I see that on top, I'm definitely going to keep it on top. Otherwise, most stuff goes to the graveyard, I would imagine. Maybe another really good threat stays on top as well. Ocelot Pride. Yeah, that's a threat that does get out of hand pretty quick, so I think I'm going to keep it. Play the Ocelot Pride, put Lurrus into our hand. Oh, no. Oh, we're so screwed. They discarded Omni to hand size. So I think we're screwed. Yeah, it's not like we could have even surveilled for a Thoughtseize there. That's already in their graveyard, already in the danger zone. I'm going to go ahead and attack with everything. Like, yeah, we're going to get a lot of energy, and we might have a kill next turn, but it's just going to be a turn too slow, unfortunately, with them having an Omni. And they got Nugen's Binding to bounce my biggest thing, so, never mind. Let's see it, opponent. If they cast any 7-drop, that includes evoking a Null Drifter, we're donezo. They're also probably just going to copy up that Omni. And then cast their whole hand. I think I'll scoop to them casting pretty much anything here. They can go away. There goes my board. Okay. That's fine. Did my opponent do the punt thing, actually, where they, devour a trigger? Oh, never mind. They stack the triggers correctly. It happened to be once before where I had, by the way, cool bug, where I had only one colorless permanent in play, or one colored permanent in play, being my own Omniscience, and I had to exile it. It's a funny way to punt. So we're going to bring in those Lavinias, those Peddlers. This. Wait, do all 15 cards come in? That's too much. So all 15 cards do very much have a use case here in this matchup. Just like straight up, Pithing Needle, Hearse, all of this stuff is good. So there's definitely an argument to bring them all in, but it just might be diluting a bit much. I think Spell Pierce is not going to actually be that good against them. I can't see the Spell Pierce, by the way. That's strange. Let's also take out, there it is, the removal. Every day a new arena bug, huh? Take out slow cards like the Nightmare, the Cruise. Might take out some Frogs too, just because we've gone up on 2-drops a lot. And then we go ahead and run back a deck like this. We don't want to dilute our deck too much. Maybe even take out like Baubles or something if we want to play more threats. We are playing 26 creatures, which is more than we had before sideboarding. I think it's fine like this. I do love me some Frogs, though. I love this crazy Frog. We could maybe play him over Baubles. Yeah, let's keep it. Baubles do actually count as a fraction of a land in this deck. We are only playing 20. We started shaving all of our Baubles. It would not end too well for us. All right, give me on the play. All right, we get to peddle them twice. I think that's a good way to win this matchup, if I'm going to be honest. And we can also Bauble Scry here. So let's see what's on top. I do like having an aggressive 1-drop, so I think I'm going to draw that. So next turn we can double 1-drop, and then the turn after we could peddle. Actually seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and Surveil. We could also peddle earlier, but I really want to get that pressure on. That's only going to have 2 power. Let's peddle first, just in case. If they have something like an Ugin's Binding, I do need to take it out of their hand ASAP and like truly exile it. If these guys are only going to have 2 power, then might as well play a Peddler, which also has 2 power. I know we could have gotten 4 power out, but I like to give myself the option to copy up Peddler just in case. Seed of Hope, you got it. I would like to offer you, my dearest opponent, a Juggernaut. Do you accept? Aha, Binding. That is a card that beats me. No. And this is a card you can't Thoughtseize because they want it in their graveyard. This card's like so frustrating to play against sometimes as an aggro player. Ooh, really gets under your skin because I played a bunch of this Shift and Tell deck playing 3 or 4 copies of Binding. Uh-oh. Yep, they discarded one with a multi to hand size. Interesting. They don't quite have Shifting Woodlands yet, but they discarded it there safely so that I can't just pedal it. Let me surveil real quick and see what we hit. We hit another creature. I'm gonna throw this in my bin, actually. That is another card type, so we're gonna have a 3/4. Oh no, I screwed up my colors. Dang it. I did screw up my colors. I needed to play both of these this turn. That's my bad. We'll take another Peddler copy next turn and we'll pretend we did that on purpose, okay? Okay. We did it on purpose because I want to pedal again. Alright, my opponent gets to search for anything that they want. They get Woodland, that's very understandable that they would want that. And then they might be able to imprint the Labyrinth the next turn. I would like them to not do that, so I'm going to Mockingbird and see if I could steal whatever they're going to use to imprint it. Plus, I'd also just be stealing their payoff, whatever it is. Seed of Hope, yep. Hey, Binding. We're going to get screwed up by a Binding again. I'm going to take their MDFC here. This is getting a little tough, though. We don't have more Surveillance to fetch, so I'm just going to play this tapped. Yeah, we got to hope that this is enough power and toughness to get there, and it might not be. They have an Ugins Binding in the bin, but if they bounce all my stuff, I do get to pedal them multiple times again, which would be really funny. Including our Flying Peddler. Which goes over Juggernauts, by the way. Alright, my opponent might have some thinking this turn. Oh, no, they're just sending it right back. Okay. That is cool by me. Alright, let's go ahead and Bauble Scry ourselves. See what's on top. Another bird. The bird is the word, as they say. I think I'm cool with drawing that. Because every bird is really just another opportunity to Thoughtseize them with the Juggernaut Peddler. I wonder if we would have had them dead if we went with a really aggressive line where we do Netherglyph copy it with Mockingbird on turn 2 before we start peddling. I wonder. I'll have to watch it back and think about it. But we didn't know my opponent wouldn't be able to put their combo together too quick. So they can win with the multi right now. They can also copy Emrakul if they really want. I assume they're copying 1 and then casting an Eldrazi and then bouncing my board with Ugins Binding. Yeah. Goodbye, board. So they get a Devourer, but the game is like not even close to over. Because I get to pedal, and some of my peddlers are gonna have flying. Ooh, Guide of Souls? That's also really good, man. So let's go Peddler, copy Guide of Souls, pedal. Yeah. This is what we're gonna do. Copy up for 0. I'm gonna pedal you and then pedal you again. And then they might be a little hopeless. Like, yeah, they can copy a big stupid Eldrazi, but I don't care. I'm gonna gain a lot of life here, buddy. We can also pedal ourselves at any point to quote-unquote upgrade a card in our hand to a Juggernaut, which is funny. I would like to pedal you again, dear opponent. Ooh, no force. I get so many Juggernauts. Everything is a Juggernaut. Do we really need to take Balagad? I think we probably should. There might be some utility to that card. So let's just take our opponent out of options, right? And now with all of this energy, I do think we have Flying Lethal if they can't bounce my board again. What a funny line. What do you do, fellow Guide of Souls? Fellow Human Artificer Juggernaut Peddlers? So they can copy something. Something might want to be Emrakul this time. It might be one with a multi to see if they can Heart of the Card something off the top of their deck. If not, they will cast Juggernaut for free and make some sad trumpet sounds. And we have enough energy to kill them next turn no matter what. We're going to be able to play Luris. So even if they kill like the Guide of Souls, we can Luris, Flashback Guide. Attack him for a bunch in the air. My opponent is thinking. Okay, the bird is the word, they've concluded. We've lost out on our guides, but we can just like replay it. So let's copy guide again. Confirm 0. Copy. Luris. That's more energy. More energy. And then we attack with everything. 2 guide triggers. Hit me here. And hit me here. Nice. All right, game 3. Do we want to change up our sideboarding? We brought in a gajillion and a half cards, but I think that was good. We still beat them even without drawing Lavinia and Licensed Tourist or Pithing Needle, which is pretty funny. Or Thoughtseize. We only drew one of our sideboard cards, and we copied it so many times. We only drew one Peddler, right? Where's my real Peddler? This one's the real one. They all have a new type. I love slowly adding card types to my creatures. I find it so satisfying. Yeah, we only drew one Peddler, and then we peddled them 4 different Juggernauts with it, so that is a very strong showing for Mockingbird. That would have not been possible without Mockingbird. On the draw, do we want Spell Piercers, perhaps? Do we want Swords for Big Eldrazi? I don't think so. I think we keep up with the Juggernaut Peddler, Lavinia, all this nonsense to hate him out. Ooh, lots of Thought Seizes, Mana Drain, we love it, but holy crap, the basic Plains. That's a bad timing for it, but I think we're still going to keep this. The opponent does get to devour. Devour some destiny, perhaps some of my destiny, perhaps their own. All right. Ooh, okay. Never mind. I'm happy to have this basic Plains if I have a Lavinia. All right, let's go ahead and get blue-black here. Bot sees you. Oh my god, you got a lot of stuff going on here, buddy. All right, buddy, old pal. So what's their best way to actually put stuff together? I could take Traverse and take away their guaranteed land drop next turn. I could also take Rumble and take away their main way to fill the graveyard. Those are the 2 things I'm thinking about. I don't think I want to take away Binding. I want to make them spend 3 mana on that. I could take Seed, but I think taking Traverse would accomplish the same thing better. I think I'm going to take... Shouldn't try to Thoughtseize with mana. Oh, yeah, you shouldn't try to mana screw with Thoughtseize. Is the classic Reed Duke wisdom. Should I try to mana screw with my Thoughtseize? I don't think so. I think I take Rumble, which is their best card for setting themselves up. They drew the second land anyway, of course. All right, sweet. So here we could play the Lavinia. We could also hold up Mana Drain. I don't think we want to Mana Drain early. I think we want to Mana Drain late. We could play Bowmasters, for instance. Let's actually try to play in our turns. We could play Lavinia now, and then next turn Thoughtseize Bowmasters, and then the turn after hold up Mana Drain. We could actually hold up Mana Drain while we do the Bowmasters play. Maybe not because of our colors. Yeah, colors could make this really tough. We don't really have colors. We can also do Nethergoyf plus Thoughtseize right now. I would want to fetch another blue. Yeah, we can't do Nethergoyf and Thoughtseize because we're going to run out of colors. So I think here... Yeah, this is tough, but I think I might just run out... Might run out nothing and do Mana Drain slash Bowmasters here. Do I like that? Is that better than Lavinia? Attacking and blocking for 2? Yeah, let's go ahead and do Bowmasters. My opponent can and will do Seed of Hope stuff here. That's fine. And then next turn, we're probably doing Lavinia plus Thoughtseize. No promises, just a probably. Now, good for them, they did get one with the Multiverse into their graveyard here. Oh, Traverse could be troublesome. They're going to get close to Delirium pretty soon, so we're going to have to Thoughtseize that. Ooh, a Ring hits the bin too, okay. my opponent does just need to hit land drops here, which they draw. And yeah, they will be traversing. I don't think I'm allowed to let them traverse for the shift, so I actually do have to drain this here. As much as I'm not, like, super enthused about this drain, this just gets shifting woodlands copies one with the multiverse, and they win. Hey, it's that simple, guys. Of course, I would have, like, a Lavinia in play, but I don't want to have to rely on that. So what do we want to do here? I don't feel the need to Thought Seize them. I think we could be mana efficient and just use all of our mana here. We could play the Lavinia and play the Bowmasters and get the beats on. And then next turn we could Thought Seize another Goyf. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Actually, you know what? Screw you. I want to go first. I hit you. They can, of course, bounce one of my things with Binding, but that would take them 3 mana. 3 mana that they can't use anywhere else, so I'm cool with that. Seed of Hope, you got it? Oh, nothing. They just milled a bunch. They do have Mega Delirium at 6 out of 4. And they do have a blocker, ladies and gentlemen. The Fae of Wishes has hit the battlefield. And it actually will slow me down a bit. Okay. What's on top? Another shift. I think we want to just play the Goyf and put Luris into our hand. I know, not too exciting. No point in attacking here, because this is actually blocking very well. Actually, maybe I should have Thought Seized there, because now they're gonna copy Shift. Yeah, they're gonna copy one with Shift, play this. Well, Lavinia would counter it, but they would still get the cast trigger, killing Lavinia. I'm trying to figure out whether or not it was a good idea to leave Lavinia as my only line of defense here. Because, like, right now, what they could do, copy one with Shifting Woodlands, cast this. It gets countered, but the cast trigger doesn't, and they exile Lavinia. That is something that they could very much do. I am going to be happy to go to combat here. And hit you. Okay. I'm gonna Thought Seize you, see what's up. Probably gonna take their payoff out of their hand. Bind my Lavinia, you got it. Force, yeah, whatever. I think I should replay Lavinia, that's the nice and disciplined thing to do, over playing Luris. But we do only have one line of defense here. It's just the Lavinia. Pretty cool game 3 so far. Null Drifter, draw 2? Okay. That's bad. We do get 2 Bowmaster pings, but... oh, never mind. The Dugan's Binding goes through even before we get our pings. We get nothing. Whee! Everything goes home. Alright, I would love to draw another card akin to Lavinia that can really keep him off of shifting. I think 2 pieces of hate would make me feel a lot safer. A lot safer than 1. I'm gonna hit Surveil here, see what we hit. I kind of just want to hit lands in a way, just to make sure I can get all my creatures into play. Do I really want 6 to land here? It would let me play everything not named Luris again. But I think the average draw in my deck is a little better than a land, just because I can draw more sideboard cards. Yeah, so let's play Lavinia, play a big Goyf, and then flash into Bowmasters. Flash in Bowmasters again coming up. My opponent obviously can copy whatever the heck they want. Right. Yep, there's a ring. I maybe should have flashed the Bowmasters in response, actually, with the ring on the stack. That's okay. Yeah, I should have flashed this in with the ring on the stack, but that's okay. It's not like I can hit them with the ping. We just lost out on 1-1 here. There we go. That's a line of defense. That's a great line of defense to have, actually. So let's go ahead and play our Hearse. Play Pride. And do I want to eat right now? I don't think so. I don't think I need to start eating their graveyard just yet. Alright, I feel pretty comfy with this unlicensed hearse in play. Yes, they have a Force of Vigor, but if they're going to spend 4 mana just blowing up my hearse, I'm totally cool with that. I think all these pings hit them, to be honest. Like, yes, we can kill Faye and get it out of the way, but I don't think it's accomplishing too much in the grand scheme of this game. So cards we lose to, like Ugin's Binding, are pretty neutered by the hearse. Let's see what my opponent's got here. They could like bounce Lavinia with the Binding, and then I'd still eat it with hearse. They have... I don't think they could possibly have things. They can't play 2 Bindings and evoke a Null Drifter. They do really need to bounce my board here. Okay, I have to sacrifice my thing to pick your poison. That's fine. So I'm going to get rid of 1 with the multi. And is there a unique card type that would help keep them off of Delirium? They only have 1 artifact, it appears. But we'll go for that. We're just going to be able to replay this with Laris, which is pretty sweet. They could have, of course, copied 1 with the multi, but like Lavinia is just going to counter it for now. They're looking to set up their win in like a turn or 2 later. Yeah. They'll do a Ring Legend rule first. Makes sense. We'll once again get to shoot things. Alright, and then we're going to play Laris out and flash back our hearse and hopefully keep the board on lockdown. It's just a question of can we present enough things stopping them so that eventually we get to win. Eventually we get an attack step and win. So let's go ahead and play this hearse. This hearse is going to prevent them from copying the thing of their choice. We can also use this to counter Ugin's Binding. I said that before, but like in case you don't know, Ugin's Binding trigger will go on the stack. You may exile Ugin's Binding, and then we exile it in response and put it under the hearse. And then you can't exile it if it's already exiled, right? So that would prevent it from actually working. My opponent may draw some cards. Let's see where it gets them. Hit. They go to 3. There definitely might be a wacky line that gets them out of this that I'm not like anticipating. Definitely could be. I'd really hope not. There is an Ugin's Binding. Okay, there goes my 12/12. That is fine. But we're going to do the thing with hearse that we just said if they do like evoke a Null Drifter or something, because I think that's their plan. Okay, sweet. We did it. Ooh, that was a long win, but hey, we got there. Alright, game 2 with Esper Bird. The bird itself had a really good showing last game, being able to copy sideboard cards. This is not keepable. Send it back. This is suspicious, but probably much more keepable than that first one. Our opponent is on a Luris deck, so we know that the Swords is going to be quite good against them. Pretty inclined to keep this, though this is rather suspicious. Alright, ooh, Island. Okay, and we drew a basic Swamp. That's pretty good. So we're probably going to want to fetch blue-white here. Do we want to start with Ocelot Pride on turn 1? If we do, there's the least chance of it getting blocked. There's other options like starting with a Thoughtseize to see what's up, starting with another Glyph because that grows fast. I think we want to start with the Ocelot Pride because if there's one moment where it won't get blocked, it will be immediately. Oh, for a second I thought I was going to get stifled and I was going to slam my desk. But instead our opponent is going to Brainstorm Gaming on my pre-combat main phase. We're getting blue-white because we drew basic Swamp. We're going to present an Ocelot Pride and say, please deal with my snowballing 1-drop. Alright, looks like it's good old Dimir. Good old, as they say. So let's go to combat here and just attack. Yep, I will take my life gain. Go to normal damage. And then after that, we could Thoughtseize them. See what's going on. We could hold up Bowmasters, because there's a pretty good chance that they brainstorm at some point. We could just play Netherglyph as a scaling threat. I like the idea of getting more threats down against this deck. And then we'll hold up Swords as good removal, because they're very likely to either try to flip this Tameo or just play a very good 2-drop like Psychic Frog, and I'd like to answer it 1-for-1 with the Swords. And the turn after, we can play these 2 cards together. Here in this matchup, we're like always going to be on the beatdown. We are pretty much their deck, but with Guide of Souls Ocelot Pride instead of their cool counter spells, right? So like we were always on the beatdown even when we were on the draw against them. Always trying to turn our creatures sideways. We could shoot Tamiyo right now, but I don't think I'm going to do it without them brainstorming first. Okay, my opponent's just being chillin'. They are going to get a clue because I let Tammy live. We are going to be fetching mid-combat. And then perhaps a mid-combat brainstorm will come through. Ooh, Esper. Is the bird the word for them too? Well, Tamiyo, you gotta go. You're not flipping. Oh, I should have let them put the counters, the brainstorm on the stack. My bad. Oh, that's funny. Oh wow, I got punished. I mean, they do waste their Snapcaster trigger, but oof. I'm not happy with myself there. I should have let them cast this first. I got a little overzealous there. Ooh, draw 3, you say. We're gonna begin by taking a look. Taking a little look-see at their hand. And then perhaps we will disrespect the library. Oh, hey. Flares? God. Ugh. I'm going to take the cruise. And then we're going to attempt to Bowmaster here, but I have a feeling it's getting flared. Sacrificing Snappy. Yeah, we put ourselves in a really tough situation by, like, missequencing with the Brainstorm there. We can attack down Tamiyo, but not fast enough to kill her this turn. He's also taxing my cat and preventing the cat from popping off. Another really sad part is we got tension between the Cruise and the Goyf right now. I would love to Cruise. Oh my god, Baleful Strix Gaming. Oh no, I gave him F tier. Oh, I'm gonna get flamed. Oh, we're Baleful Strix Gaming today. Okay, let's try to attack Tamiyo. And we're gonna end up trading for a Strix here. And then, man, my Cruise will get drained. I can't let that happen, right? I think I just have to put Luris into my hand. Oh, I think I put myself in a pretty unwinnable spot, right? Because I don't want my Cruise to get drained. I think Luris is just going to get drained instead. 100% on me this game, by the way, for missequencing the Brainstorm thing. It's the little mistakes that'll get you in Timeless, unfortunately. Totally on me for letting them flip Tamiyo. My whole plan was to, not let them do that. And then I let them do that. So they have double flare up. Man, I don't think this game's winnable. I hate to sound like a doomer, but I'm going to throw Luris away. He's getting countered here. I'm totally cool with it. Yeah, that's fine. And then we're going to pass the turn, and then we're going to try to resolve one of these cards on a following turn. Yeah, I'm really not happy with myself. I probably am just going to concede, because I don't have removal spells for this flip Tamiyo. That's unfortunate. I'm not happy with that at all. Let's go ahead and sideboard for them a little bit. I think... What do we want? I actually do like the main deck configuration against them a lot, to be honest. I actually really do like the main deck configuration against them. We could maybe play some Peddlers. Peddlers would be pretty good. I do love all these threats against them. I actually really like our main deck configuration against them, I'm not going to lie. The things I'm considering are Peddlers and Spell Pierces, and it's just a question of, are they better than what my opponents could be playing? They're playing a version of Dimir that has free spells and Baleful Strix. Do I want Spell Pierce for that nonsense? I think peddling them a Juggernaut's getting a little lost in the sauce, but I do like the idea of holding up Spell Pierce. Maybe we can go ahead and do that. Maybe we can cut a creature removal spell as well, and then run it like this. And see what happens. Alright, on the draw. Keepable? Maybe. A little suspicious like our first one, but we're going to put enough card types in the graveyard that I think turning Glyphs sideways might win this game. One would hope, at least. We can't do the Bauble Scry thing, because I really do want to get our threats down immediately. Question for the folks at home. Is Ocelot on 1 better? I don't think it will be, considering that this Glyph is going to be at least a 2/3. No, this is the one chance we get to play Ocelot Pride, right? Before it becomes a dead card. Okay, Bowmaster as well. Ocelot sucks. At least we get to Bowmaster their Bowmaster back. Ooh, the Guide of Souls is here. Very nice. I'm gonna go to combat. And I'm gonna see if I connect for damage. This might just eat a Fatal Push. We'll have to see. Thinking about it. Whether or not this is worth pushing. We're just gonna slam Guide and Goyf this turn, by the way. So play a Guide, play a Goyf. Play a Guide, play a Goyf. My Ocelot Pride might eat the removal spell now that my opponent has a little more info. They might also just get rid of Guide of Souls and then ping down the Ocelot Pride. Oh no, they have nothing. Cool. Ocelot Pride is almost definitely getting pinged next turn, but we get a bit of energy between now and then, which is cool. Okay. So let's not throw things away too hard here. Wobble. Look at your top. See what's up. A drain. Okay. I'm gonna try to put this Goyf on the stack to get that extra energy. Sweet. Now let's go to combat. I'm gonna go ahead and put my counters here on this cat. If they want to ping this, it means my other cat lives, which is awesome. They're gonna put out Bowmasters. They are gonna ping that one. That's fine. And then I'm gonna Swords to Plowshares the Bowmaster. I'm kind of baiting them into double blocking here. Nice. Yeah, get out of here. Extra card type for my Goyf, by the way. Now we gain even more life, even more energy. We have our own Bowmasters. Does opponent have another Bowmaster here? No. Alright, Guide of Souls finally dies. We only get away with so many war crimes here. But now we have even bigger, faster, harder, stronger Goyfs. And my opponent is tapped out, which is so sweet. Let's just go ahead and shock fetch really aggressively. I actually thought first before we make the decision, just in case there is a decision to be made. I'm probably just going to take their card that can actually impact the board state here. And then, oh yeah, 5/6. Oh, we're cooking. And then go ahead, get a black source. Throw this down. And then attack for 10. Yeah. Now my opponent's in a crap situation. I think we win this one, right? DT, uh-oh. Ah. Do they have a card that gets them out of this? I don't know. I'm scared. Yo, what's the card? Wait, what card did you get? Alright, my turn. I turn everything sideways. What you get? Okay, they got nothing. Sweet. Let's go to game 3. Before game 3, do we want to change the sideboarding? I do like the spell pierces. I am a big fan. What did we cut for them? We cut a bobble and a push. Do we want another push after seeing their deck a little bit more? Part of me wants a push in the deck, but part of me says these spell pierces are pretty goated. We could also maybe take out the nightmares and the cruises. I could also play one hearse, which would it be good against them? It would be okay against them. Not amazing. So I could play like one copy over the one nightmare and run it like that. Really marginal decision. Not sure if that's correct. Not sure if it's even going to matter. All right. What we got our sideboard card that I said was really marginal. And we got a Guide of Souls opener. Let's keep it, right? Right? I stuttered a little bit there, but it's hard to say that there's anything wrong with these 3 cards. There's a little bit of something wrong with having 4 lands and a tap land. Okay, never mind. We get Thoughtseized. My opponent gets to pick my opening hand. That's fine. So we're going to play whatever 1-drop we get to keep, which will be the Guide of Souls. And unfortunately, we might get stuck in top deck mode. We were able to win that game 2 really easily because we flooded the board. Oh, we might not be able to flood the board against them, unfortunately. Oh, good draw. What a draw. Oh, we were so dead to this frog. That pause implies they have a Flare of Denial, by the way.
I don't know if y'all noticed, but to me it was really obvious that there was a pause, meaning they had a 0 mana spell they could have cast. It could be a surgical, but why would they bring that in against me? It's almost definitely Flare of Denial that their blue card was enabling them to cast. So right here, I think this hearse is going to get flared. Ooh, a Spell Pierce. Play Marsh Flats just in case they don't decide to flare this. They don't. Okay. That is cool by me. We'll have their graveyard on lockdown, but then what, right? We do have the ability to Spell Pierce whatever they got going on, which is sweet. We'll see what they're cooking. They are a Luris deck, so I don't know how juicy of a permanent we can hit. We can't exactly hit Jace the Mind Sculptor with this card, but they are fetching for 4 mana. Going to 7? Homie. 7? Oh, because they want to cruise. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Let me get my Aggrieve. No, thank you. Oh, that was good. They went all the way down to 7. That's scary. Let me go ahead and hit that cruise. And it's just a Luris to hand moment here. Nothing too funny, nothing too fancy. Just Luris. And I might even exile my own graveyard here just to grow my hearse a tiny bit. No, Luris! Alright. Oh, if they're going to put things in their graveyard, then I'll take that instead. And unfortunately, we milled our Surveil land as well. So we don't have a second Surveil to get here. So we are very much in top deck mode. Oh, Crazy Frog. I love this card. Unfortunately, it probably just trades 1-for-1 with Baleful Strix, but worse things have happened to me, right? Let's crew you, right? Right? Am I supposed to crew you? I crew you, attack with you, they block with Baleful Strix, they play Luris, flashback Baleful Strix. It's actually really bad. Let's not let that happen. I maybe should have attacked for one with Guide there and hoped for a trade. I do want this Strix to get the hell out of my way. Oh, what the... Huh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a fine and reasonable sideboard card. I just wasn't expecting it. Don't take my what the hell to mean I think my opponent's stupid. Okay. Ooh, more nothing, unfortunately. So their Luris isn't going to be able to do much, but it will be able to attack and block very well. It's fine. If they put Luris on the stack, we're going to exile that. Okay. So we just got to beat this Luris somehow. This Hearse was a great bring-in. It's much better than Nightmare. Oh, Nightmare would not have done anything on this board state. Okay, big Goif, big Goif. So we could... Oh, they got Drain. Oh, that's tough. Oh, they don't. Okay. We could crew up the Hearse and either try to block Luris or get swinging right now. If we swing right now for 5, then my opponent will be able to hit us back for 10. I think we're going to hold back the Hearse. If my Goif just gets removed, this is going to feel very bad, though. But looking at my graveyard, why? Oh, just to draw cards. I think I'm cool to fizzle this, right? Yeah, I'm cool to take my own Thoughtseize and fizzle this. Let's make my Hearse as big as possible. I'm just making them go -1 card in hand. So we open ourselves up to them like drawing a bauble and drawing an extra card that way, but by doing this, we are preventing them from drawing a card. So in my opinion, totally fine. Okay, Bowmasters, you got it. That is cool by me. Ooh, another Bowmasters. A little less cool. What do I want to draw now, boys? You know what I would like to draw? Mockingbird, copy Luris. That's not a Mockingbird. I have copied my opponent's Luris with a Mockingbird before, by the way. It's sick. I love Mockingbird so much. It's such a fun card to play with. My opponent gets to cast Demonic Tutor. I have never been more excited in my life. Okay, we get to take whatever they DT'd for. They might have just DT'd for mana drain or something. Oh, I forgot to activate my Hearse, by the way. Kind of just clicking through turns. Yeah, they did just DT for mana drain. That's fine. All right, we have a sorcery in our bin again. We have a 4/5. We do need something to break the board, and I think actually Mockingbird for Luris is the best thing that we could possibly draw. I think if I were my opponent, I would be attacking with these Bowmasters because you could just loop it with Luris. Actually, never mind. I have the Hearse up, right? Opponent digs. Opponent is digging. That's tough. Even if I had exiled extra cards from their graveyard, they would have had barely enough to do it with mana. All right. Mana plus mana drain. Okay. Exile 1. Submit. My turn. I would love to draw the bird. The bird is the word. My opponent got to dig, they got to DT, they got to do it all this game. And they get to storm now. Yeah, you can see they have 32 cards left in library, I have 39. And they've also had a lot of card selection with things like dig. So that's definitely a big advantage to their deck, being able to play all the brainstorms, even Baleful Strix now. Tough. Screwed me up. All right, we're going to need that Mockingbird copy Luris in the next couple seconds. Ideally next turn. All right. We did open up our Hearse to Fatal Push here, but thankfully that didn't go through. Okay, they put Brainstorm on top or even Pending. Yeah, Pending the Hearse makes sense. My turn? Thoughtseize. That's unfortunately not going to be it, right? Let's see what's in your hand. I'm going to give myself one more draw step, probably. No. Well, unfortunately. All right, close game. That was fun. All right, game 3 with the bird is the word. We got Ocelot Pride. Oh, copy it up, all right. This is like the third time we've had an awkward basic in our opener. But I feel like you can't not play basics. I wonder if we should be playing basics. My opponent is going first here. I'm going to keep this. Hopefully we don't get screwed over. I also have no clue what they're playing in the blind. I don't see a companion or anything to judge. It looks like it might just be show and tell. Let's go ahead and jam Ocelot Pride. And then we'll look at their top card to hopefully get some sort of vague idea of what they're playing. I'll wait for them to fetch, actually. Yep. So after you fetch, I would love priority so I can look at your top. Yeah. Do your surveil, and then... Kept it? Let me see it, then. Ah! My favorite. Oh, we got a good old Psychic Frog that will hopefully hit him sideways. Does copying Netherglyph do more damage? Maybe marginally. You could also copy up Ocelot Pride and go really wide. That might be better. I'm really just trying to max damage here. We can discard so much shit to Frog next turn. But I think copying Pride might go even harder. Definitely get City's Blessing next turn at this rate. But they might just have it. Let's put the Frog into play. Me. And... Okay, yeah, so they just win. Let me make sure they actually have the stuff to get. For Masterminds, for... Yeah, they do the thing. Okay. The classic Omnitel. Alright, so last time we established that we can bring in 15 cards. Should we? Let's first start by removing cards that I don't think are good in the matchup, which are going to be those particular cards, the creature removal. The Chthonian Nightmare, probably also too slow, and then we were also thinking maybe the Cruise and maybe the Frog. Just a little bit not what we're looking for. Cut some Baubles, cut some Frogs. This lets us bring in 10 cards. Bringing in 10 cards will, of course, be the Lavinias and the Peddlers. I also am very interested. We're going to shift and tell, aren't we? It is hard to know, but no, with the Garden of Freyalise, only the shift variant will play that. Same with Ugin's Labyrinth, but maybe a normal show and tell that could try to squeeze that in. So we're going to want to hate their graveyard, we're going to want to activated ability hate, and then we're going to want mana drain. I think we just get rid of the rest of the frogs to make room.
And once again, sideboard in a gajillion cards for this matchup. All right, what we got here? We got a lot of cards that are good. And we have ways to draw for the second land. Maybe 20 is just too few in this deck. We keep so many sus land hands. It's kind of crazy. I don't think we're going to do the bauble scry thing here. I think we're instead going to look at their top card of the library for information. Just cycle ASAP. We're going to get pressure on ASAP. So your top card here. A show and tell. Okay. So I might want to thought seize that. So instead of thought seizing this turn, we're going to play guide. And then next turn thought seize, or maybe next turn Lavinia if we draw the land. Drawing more thought seizes can't be bad though. So they did draw a show and tell here. I don't know why it went away. Right? Or no, it triggered in their upkeeps. They chose to exile the show and tell. Okay, well, let's see what's in their hand then. We didn't draw the land, but it's okay. We're just going to steal, steal, steal until we can't steal anymore. I will be happy to take this ring, right? Happy to take the ring. Maybe I actually should have taken Omnitel this turn and taken ring next turn. Because they could, like, theoretically scry Omniscience on top, then they really wouldn't go anywhere. But they would be able to put Omniscience into play, which is kind of the point of their deck, but then we put a Lavinia into play, so maybe not. Okay, Lavinia mana, fantastic. What do we want to do here, boys? I think I would be pretty happy with putting Lavinia into play, or a Bowmasters at instant speed, or maybe a Hearse. My opponent really wants to cast the Binding, right? For 3 mana, so let's let them do that. Play Bowmasters. Get my 2 energy, thank you, thank you. If they try to Omnitel, then we put Lavinia into play and we're fine. At least for a little bit. And then next turn I might just want to play my Hearse. Defense Grid, that's fine, I wasn't going to fuck with you. Rumble? Yeah, Rumble. Oh, that's that's 2 bindings in the bin, Jesus. That's fine. I am going to be very happy to play a Hearse then, over anything else. I'm going to go to combat, just swing for 2. Do I want Hearse over anything else? If they Null Drift or bounce my board, how bad is it? A little bad. Yeah, we'll play Hearse first. I think we can take our time. I think we have enough stuff to just keep them on lockdown for the rest of the game. Alright. My opponent probably forgot they had priority with their little thing in play. We're going to try to play a Hearse here. And exile their Ugin's Bindings in response to them casting something stupid. I wonder why the defense grid came in. What am I really doing during their turn? I guess surgical. No, thank you with these Ugin's Bindings, by the way. 1 and 2, go away. Will not be bouncing my Bowmaster. You will be getting pinged twice. I do not care. 1, I'm going to hit this 2. I know they could just sack it in response, but get it out of there. Get rid of their extra mana. Your Null Drifter dies. Another defense grid. Dude, I do not care. I only have the 2 mana drains in this deck. It's really not that bad. We're going to do Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride. We're going to get gaming. I think I'm good for that. Like, even if they Omnitel, we put Lavinia into play, we're fine, we're fine. We don't need to play more stuff. We don't need to Thought Seize. We know 2 of the 3 cards in their hand. Let's go ahead and pay. Then we start making cats. Always good to see some cats. We have a casual 8 mana Lavinia just chilling in our hand. Get a little screenshot of that for Discord, maybe. Alright, show and tell. You may have a Lavinia. Alright, there's your Omniscience. Do you have a way to answer Lavinia for no mana? I don't think so. Aha! There we go. So the spell gets countered. Lavinia does get exiled successfully here, so my opponent can cast this as a 3/3 blocker. Yeah, I guess that's their out, right? Sacrifice another creature, can't attack itself, so their turn's kind of over. Means we can just exile 2 randos from their graveyard, crew it, kill them. You know the drill. All right, let's keep that same sideboarding. I mean, if they're playing defense grid, I think we are so over sideboarded. We can probably skimp on the mana drains. Maybe play Pierces instead, but honestly, just play the frog. All right, ugh, another sus one lander. I hate sus one landers. Dude, I think we do shuffle this one away, right? Don't have enough ones. We're going second as well. Can't really afford to stumble. This is a lot better. Oh, no, white mana? You're kidding me. I hate everything about my life. I think we're going to keep it. We're just going to put away the pride. We're going to start with Nether Goyf on 1. And we'll have a double Goyf start. If white mana does show up, then we will be able to peddle them. I love peddling. Personally, honestly, this is like my favorite alchemy card ever, Juggernaut Peddler. I love the design of this. I wish they could make this in paper. I wish I could have a paper card that says replace one of your opponent's cards in hand with the Juggernaut. It would be so funny. There's a bajillion paper logistics reasons of why that would be a nightmare, but like, I wish. It would be so much fun. So we do have Lavinia as a line of... Hey, 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 what the fuck? Hey, I don't consent to this bullshit. Man, and I drew the Thoughtseize too, so now it looks like I was an idiot and didn't Thoughtseize them. Okay. I Thoughtseize myself. Great. Discard Lavinia. Whatever. I mean, the game's over, right? You have protection from instants, correct? And I don't even have my swords in the deck. I'm just trying to think if I have outs to Emrakul. Yeah, I think we let him have it. All right, we got channeled. Not too much you could do about that. All right, that's pretty fun. We did end up going 1-2 in the video, but a lot of these games were super close. Like, I think all of them went to 3, right? You can argue that I only lost against Blue-Black because I punted in game 1, and I definitely should have been able to keep their Tameo from flipping. I definitely do like the idea here. I don't know if this is the ideal Mockingbird deck, but I did love that we got to copy Juggernaut Peddler a bunch of times with Mockingbird. My hover is back to not working. Thanks, Watsy. I did like how Mockingbird performed. I love copying up Nethergoyf. I loved copying up my other 1-drops, which we saw in Jeskai Energy as well. This is pretty cool. Like, I don't know if this is better than Energy as a 3-color aggro deck. What I dislike about this is that it's evenly in 3 colors, meaning we got 1-drops of every color. I guess it's technically least blue, but then we're trying to play double blue cards in the sideboard. It's a little tough. If I'm curious if you guys have been trying Mockingbird out in similar shells. I saw some of the guys who really like playing the blue-black tempo deck played Mockingbird plus Death Shadow in their list and took out a little bit of their interaction to play more threats. And I think the consensus was that that wasn't as good, but it was at least fun. So I'm curious, have you been having fun with Mockingbird? Have you tried it in similar decks to this? What do you think? Curious to hear what you got to say because people have been doing it in modern as well, and like modern Jeskai Energy seems to have legs, but keep in mind modern and timeless are different formats. The modern deck's a lot slower, and you can like dirtle a little bit and say, all right, I'm gonna copy my thing 26 times and then win on turn 8, which you can't do in timeless. As you saw, we got channeled there and lost turn 2. Turn 2 on the draw as well. That was tough. Yeah, that's about it. Let me know if you have thoughts on Mockingbird. Let me know if you have any other cool ideas. Oh, if you have a cool idea, specifically join the Discord and send me the deck list there. That is the best way to contact me and send me deck lists because I'm always interested to try out stuff or at least look at your lists and share my thoughts on it. All right, thanks for watching.